Another TikTok girl has lost her life after she went to visit a boy she met on Instagram. 21-year-old Rachel Kosisochukwu was said to have left her house on the 26th of January 2025 on a Sunday heading for church when she got a phone call from the said boy inviting her to an apartment in Yanasach, Lagos. The young boy, who goes by the name of OG1 Savage, happens to be an upcoming artist with over 90,000 followers on Instagram. He's also one of those Instagram boys that shows wealth, gold tooth, blings, jewelries, even showing off money and also showing off his accent. From what we heard, he and Rachel had been texting for over a month, but all the while he was in the island. However, on this said day, the 26th of January, he happened to be on the mainland in Yanasach at his friend's apartment, and so he used the opportunity to invite Rachel over, and somehow Rachel honored the invitation. It was said that Rachel gave her mother her tithe and her prayer points in the paper and told her that she was going to see a friend. She got on a cab and went straight to the apartment that OG1 Savage had sent her, which happened to be an apartment that belonged to his friend. Now, when Rachel got to the apartment, it's not clear how the reception was. This was their first time meeting. He hadn't seen this guy in person, so she did not know what to expect. However, barely 24 hours later, Rachel would turn up dead in the hospital just after briefly complaining that she could not feel her legs anymore. So what really happened to Rachel Kosisochukwu? What did OG1 Savage and his friends do to her? Now, put in mind that this story is very brand new. It just happened few days ago, so it's still developing. And at the time of making this video, OG1 has been arrested and is currently in prison. And the police have begun their investigation. So know that the story might change. Know that more details would emerge. But right now, what the family is looking for is justice, and to make sure that this story is out there, because they believe the young man is very well-to-do and well-connected, and he's trying to get away with this. But we will not let that happen, because we need answers. She was just in his house for barely 24 hours. She went there on a Sunday, died on that same day. What did they do to her? What did they give her? Now, this is everything that we know so far. When Ray went to see OG1 Savage, it is believed that she had in mind that this young man was going to help change her phone. Probably he had promised to buy her a new mobile phone. And so maybe that was why she honored his invitation. However, when she got there, it was not what she expected. Apparently, they started making a pass at her and she turned it down. She made it clear that she would still have to return home that same day, which means she was not sleeping over. And she also made it clear that she had a boyfriend, whom she was very serious with, and from what I'm hearing, she was actually pregnant for the boyfriend. To her, she was coming to see an Instagram celeb of some sort, a young upcoming artist that she hopes if she's friends with, she could get jobs or connection, or maybe work for him because she's a professional beauty technician. Ray was as careful as she could, as she turned down a lot of the things they gave to her. But when she got thirsty, they offered her a bottle of water. What she did not know was that that water was spiked and laced with something. And after she took that water, that was when her body started feeling a type of way. Ray knew immediately that something wasn't right. It was said she began feeling uneasy and began feeling a type of way. And she could not understand what was going on with her, but she knew something was off. Somewhere along the line, she called her older sister and explained what had happened, even sending the sister the address to where she was. Immediately, Ray's sister came to that said house with her boyfriend.
Baby for our hand. So that they see him. So that they see him. So now they see him because they shall not call now. They don't get setting. They go to and put them inside bush.
A boyfriend named Wilson. So both Wilson and Ray's older sister came to the apartment where she was with OG1 Savage, and they saw her in a very terrible state. She was even wearing a gown, and that was not the gown she wore to the house. She was not even wearing underwear when they saw her. She was soaked and drenched, almost as though they've been trying to, save her life in the apartment, pouring her water, trying to bathe her, which it turned out to be. The young man, OG1 Savage, explained to them that she was complaining about how she was feeling, and they took her to the bathroom to pour her water and bathe her, and That was why she was in the states they saw her. They even had to ask for her underwear because she wasn't wearing any when they saw her in that state that she was. But there was no time. Rachel was already at the deep stage of whatever was going on with her. So they quickly rushed her to a hospital, but the first hospital they took her to rejected her. Then she was taken to another one, and somewhere along the line, she just succumbed to whatever it was and died. And I think the next morning, on a Monday, the family went to the apartment with the police officer, and OG1 Savage, probably along with his friend, were arrested. They both denied knowing what caused her death. They both denied killing her. They both maintained their innocence. They said she just started complaining and they tried to help her, but they couldn't. But here is the kicker. Before she passed, she told her sister that they did give her a bottle of water, a cup of water, and the water tasted funny. And she knew that it was from the water that they may have poisoned her some way, somehow. What was given to her is still not clear at this moment, and I think that is what an autopsy is going to reveal. But this is what I think. This is what I feel. I feel like they were trying to spike her drink. They were trying to drug her to maybe fall asleep so that they could take advantage of her sexually. Remember, it was alleged that they tried to make a pass at her, in the conversation, in trying to get to know each other. He started trying to be sexual with her, but she turned it down and was maybe one of those things a girl would be like, okay, maybe since she was genuinely out of her own will refusing to do anything with him, his best guess is to drug her, because she was already going home that same day. She was not going to sleep over. So he was already losing, and these things young boys do is to just find a way to keep her home, keep her there, keep her weak, so that they could have their way with her. And unfortunately for him, whatever he put in the water may have been an overdose, may have been too much, or may have reacted differently in her body. Because remember, she is also pregnant. I don't think it's something that he knows. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to say this because it's not out there. However, the source I got, the source close to the family, say that the family know now that she actually was pregnant for her boyfriend, Wilson, and it's a pregnancy that she planned to keep. A pregnancy that her and her boyfriend were going to raise together. And I think whatever she drank, whatever he gave her to drink, may have also affected the pregnancy and may have also played a role in how her body would react to it, which would most likely end up being really brutal or ghastly on her own end. Maybe on a regular girl, it will make them sleep and pass out. But for her, it reacted differently and it just went bad instantly. In this picture here, he seemed to have been taken by the police. I hear he's in Kirikiri now. He is denying having any hand in killing the girl. He is saying he did not give her anything. But, such a claim would have to be backed up by evidence. And from what I'm seeing, all that is left to do is to run an autopsy on her and see the toxicology reports on whether or not if she was poisoned. If indeed she was given something to drink and that is what would have killed her, it would be a good thing to do it as fast as they should. They should hurry up with the autopsy and the toxicology report to find out what really killed her. And that thing too is, we've seen stories where girls who are actually not feeling fine go to stay in someone's house and then they die from there. So that would have been this case. But this is not it, because it's less than 24 hours. It's not as if she was complaining of being sick from home. She was fine when she left home, fine when she got here. But by the time she left the apartment, she was a goner. So I'm thinking that there is a chance, or the possibility is clear, that it's not an underlying illness. If she had spent a day or two in his house, yeah, that would have made sense. She was there for barely 24 hours. Whatever killed her in the hands of this boy. They gave her something, and that thing reacted terribly in her system. And I think that is what it's going to be like. That is what it is. She was murdered. It might not be his intention to do it, but what he did has led to her death. And I think this is what they call manslaughter. Manslaughter, third degree murder or second degree, I think, something that you do that caused the death of someone else. So I don't think he meant to kill her because he has beef with her. He just wanted to spike her drink, make her unconscious, have his way with her, but she fought back terribly. Her body system fought back to keep her alive, and I think that ultimately led to her death. Like I said, this story is still developing. There will be more updates to come. There will be more information. We are probably going to hear from his own side, and we'll have to wait and see how it develops. It's just unfortunate.